All right, apparently this eBay return glitch is real, and a few days ago I did experience it. I would say it's not like the end of the road. It's kind of annoying to say the least, but I still don't understand how it actually works. But the problem is this, a buyer initiates a return and the buyer gets a return label depending on how you have set things up. If you have set the return acceptance to be automatic, then the return is automatically accepted and the buyer gets a return label. And ideally, the buyer sends you your item. You have a tracking number to actually be sure that the item has been shipped back to you. And after a few days, you get an email from eBay informing you to go ahead and issue a refund to the buyer because your item has been delivered. So a few days ago, somebody actually returned a computer that I sold, and this was exactly how everything played out. As soon as the return came in, it was automatically accepted. And a few days later, I just got a shocking email. Please issue a refund because the return has been delivered. And then I was like, wait a minute, but I do not have this item. You see, when my items are returned, I always want to watch out for them because sometimes I actually want to make a video about the return just to tell you the condition in which the items were returned. And I've made pretty much a lot of videos like this on this channel. If you care to look back at the older videos, you will definitely see them. So when I received this email, I was already like, but I do not have this computer in question. And a computer is not a small item that you can actually just not see when it's lying around. It's normally going to be in a big packaging that there is just no way you can actually miss this packaging. All right. So when I did see this email, I was already like, what's this? I do not have it. The first thing I thought of was go ahead and track this package, just track to see if the item in this case has actually been delivered. It's just a side note. This is a lesson for you out there. If you get a return request, yes, this is not actually good customer service to issue a refund when the item has not been delivered. Always wait for the item to be in your hands. Open it within the time frame that eBay has given you to do the return. Open it, inspect it, and always see that everything is fine before issuing a refund. It's not a good culture. I know some people do it, and people that do it will actually be caught with this kind of glitch where an item is not delivered, but eBay wants you to send a refund. So I did go ahead to track the package, only for me to see that the item is marked to be delivered the next day. I ship with DHL, and sometimes they do experience some backlog. They experience some traffic, especially now that we are kind of heading towards Christmas. It's very possible that items, might just be delayed during transportation one way or the other. So when I did track it, I saw that the item was actually marked to be delivered the next day. And at this point, I was like, I'm not going to go ahead and send a refund to the buyer. I am definitely going to find out what is going on here. At this point, I didn't really take a look at YouTube to see that people also had this kind of problem. But the first thing that came to my mind was I was definitely going to contact eBay because ideally, when things work normally, the eBay system that is responsible for sending you an email to issue a refund should normally be triggered when the tracking number says that the item has been delivered. And I do not know why this is actually happening, and this is actually a glitch, and I do want to think that eBay is going to quickly look into this and see exactly where the problem is coming from. Like I said, it's not the end of the road, but it might just be a little pain in the butt. And if you don't have a lot of time, this is where it gets kind of painful, when you have to sit down and try to first track, first you have to read the email that's going to annoy you, and then you have to start to track this package to see where it's coming from, and then you have to start to call eBay or request for eBay to give you a call, and then you're going to go ahead and go through all this talk on phone, and then eBay is going to tell you something that it's just going to amount to a waste of time and energy. All right, but I did go ahead to reach out to eBay, and thankfully the lady that picked the call was very understanding, very nice, very polite. She did tell me that, look, there's no problem. She's just going to go ahead and override what the system was saying. And by override, she was actually saying that she's going to put the whole process on pending until there's a change in the status of the tracking number. This is also another advantage of using a responsible shipping service, because if you were to have just told the buyer to put some postage stamp and send your item to you, there's no way anyone can track the movement of the package. But because I do use DHL, and those of you that live in the US, I'm aware that you use the USPS, and definitely you're going to be having a tracking number. So the lady did tell me that, look, there's no problem. She's just going to put the whole process on pending until there is a change in the status of the tracking number. So I found it kind of soothing. Like, it makes a lot of sense. I didn't have to issue an immediate return. Because I participate in the eBay Refurbished program, it is always very important when you send refunds to your buyer. If you delay sending refunds to your buyer, it has a way of affecting your metrics. And I didn't want that to actually happen. But because the lady told me that, don't worry, I'm going to put the whole process on pending until something changes with the tracking, it kind of made me a little bit relaxed. I felt like I could trust what the rep was saying, and I didn't issue any refund. And I did wait till the next day to see exactly what the tracking was going to tell me. And then, true to what DHL said, the next day, the package was delivered to me. I didn't have to call eBay again. As soon as I received the package, I opened it just to be sure that everything was fine, and everything was really fine like I sent it. This is one of those decent buyers that do a kind of good job in sending your items back to you. So I went ahead and issued a refund to the buyer. See, what I'm not so sure of now is this delay in issuing this refund going to affect my metrics, or I can actually go ahead to trust what the rep has said, to say that, look, the whole process is put on pending, which is the system is not going to see that I had to take another 12 hours or 16 hours, as the case may be, before me issuing a refund to the buyer. I really do hope that this is not the case. I do not have the time to begin to track little things like that. I'm a top-rated seller on eBay, and sometimes one transaction going wrong here and there, I do not want to think that it should have a very big impact on my account. Of course, it's not a good thing. It's all a waste of time. I want to believe that eBay is aware of this, and they're going to do everything as quickly as possible to make sure that this return glitch is handled and corrected as soon as possible. I want to hear your experience. Have you also experienced this lately? If yes, please go ahead in the comment section, comment, and let me know how you dealt with it. And until I see you again in the next video, peace.